Let's get this thing going.
Check 1, 2.
The Hip Hop Study Hall podcast with DJ Eakin starts now.
About hip hop.
So when you're a kid, right, and I often think of like the Nelly story. I think about these rappers in Atlanta, right, where they really blew up their city, right? Mm-hmm. So when you talk to someone who asks you about the experience of saying, "Oh man, but you really moved to New York," and I think what a lot of people don't understand is, first of all, when you move to New York, it becomes you times like 100,000 because there's so many people chasing their dream in New York, right? Then you get them bills that New York come with, right? That rent, that, you know what I'm saying? That people be like, this ain't nothing like the rent is in Sarasota. This rent is this rent punch you in the chest a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Way smaller.
Yeah. You know
what I'm saying?
So when you look at it like that, would you recommend telling someone to maybe try to pop off in their own city as opposed to saying, go for it in New York? Because I know it was an experience that you glad you did it. Because New York does give you a drive that nothing else does. I feel like New York and LA give you a drive that be like, Atlanta too, that be like, yo, I got to get up. I can't sleep all afternoon. I got to get up and get to rocking. So, but when someone asks you, would you recommend it to be like, I don't know, bro, you might could make that same thing pop off here in Orlando or Siesta Key or, Tampa, as opposed to trying New York?
That's a good question. I mean, I would tell everybody, no matter where you're from, if you're from the smallest town ever, or if you're from New York, the biggest city, you know what I mean? Develop your craft, your passion, what you want to do off the rip. And I feel like no matter where you're at, if you have that passion and this is what you want to do, you can make it happen from wherever you're from. I've always heard from like legends of hip hop back in the day, blow up out of your city and then your state, and then you go nationwide with it. But me, I was from Sarasota, Florida. And I was just trying to make something happen. I thought like to get a movie deal or to get something like that, I had to be in LA or I had to be in New York. Because growing up in Sarasota, it was a small town. It's a beach town. It's slow pace. Me coming up, there wasn't that much people looking around that were doing the same thing, So I feel like I was kind of big out of my hometown, coming up. And when I moved to New York, man, I was the smallest person. I wasn't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like I moved to New York, everybody was doing something. Everybody was in the city hustling with a brand they already developed. Me, I was there like, yo, I'm trying to get a cast and this and that. But going to New York, going to that big city made me really feel small and made me really dial in to be like, there's a billion people trying to do this. And if I really want this, there's certain sacrifices and certain things I got to make to get there. And no matter where I'm at, I always feel like if I had to go to Hong Kong, to pursue a passion or something, I'll go there and I'll come back speaking Mandarin.
Right.
You know what I mean? Fighting Kung Fu, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, no matter what, I feel like no matter where you're at, you can make it happen. And my biggest break came out of my hometown, out of Sarasota, Florida. And that just showed me something, that leverage your hometown, leverage who you know first. You ain't getting no love out of your hometown, and it's going to be harder to take it and get some love somewhere else,
Right.
Even though sometimes the hometown, small town, it'd be harder to get love out of your hometown sometimes, but, I feel like you could do it no matter where you at.